Hello everyone. So today we'll be looking at Tailwind CSS. Tailwind CSS has been a popular choice among many developers these days. This is mostly used with Next.js, but it can also be used with React and other libraries as well. So there is a debate between many developers. Some like it a lot, some find it very much difficult to understand and learn. So my personal opinion is it is a good library if you know how to use it effectively, and it can save you a lot of time. So let's dive into this. We have to click on this get started. This is the documentation for Tailwind CSS. We have few basic installation setups, what we can follow, how to install, and what are the basic configuration what we can do as a base level. So I'll not be teaching all of this. This is all documented. And then when we move forward, we have also theming in this. We can set up the themes, and but this always come in advanced version. Right now I'm only focusing on the beginners part, so we can dive into this later. If you want me to create a video on advanced Tailwind CSS, please comment in this video and I'll make a video for that as well. For getting started, what we have to do, we have to read this document at the base level. What are the columns, how are they defined, and some properties like display. This is the class what we are gonna use, and behind the scene this is the CSS property which will be applied. Same like that, we also have a full section for flexbox and grids. These are the flexbox properties what we can use, and we also have same things for grid as well. We also have other things like what will be the font family, how to give that, what are the font sizes, if apply this font size, this is the actual font size will be applied. We'll be looking into all of this, and once you have a gist of this thing, we can start with the playground thing just to test our knowledge and see how good we are at this. So what you can do is I'll quickly clear all of this and we'll try to revise everything what we have learned by creating a basic layout for a website. So how I like is basically whenever I am starting something, I want to create a structure or a layout first. So let's create a basic layout first, and then we can uh, dive into this for an advanced details, uh, designing the individual components. So I'll start with the main component, and inside main we will have three divs basically. First one will be for the header, second one will be for the main. This is the main body where we have the actual code for all of our home components or other components if you have multiple pages in your website. And header and footer can remain same, so we can reuse this component as well. So this is the basic layout. I like it this way, and now we can dive into all individual sections and try to design it just to see our knowledge what we have learned and we are good with this. So how should we start? Let's start with the header first. So I'll create a class. So this is how you name it over here. The name class in React we use it at class name, but here it is just class. We can make call this as flex. I want justify between, then I want the margin to be 2, ex to be 4, border should be blue, maybe 400 to have a light color, and then shadow sm, and also items center. And let's have a background color so that it is visible, blue of 100. So yeah, we can see some background color being applied, and this is our header. All right, looks good to me. Let's create a section in this header. So how I want is, in my header I should have basically one section for my logo, the other will be for my div, for my menu, I mean to say. Yeah, this is how we should want. Looks good to me. Yeah, let's go further. To this logo, firstly, we can have a image as well. So right now I'm just going with this text. For the logo, we want the cursor to be pointer. Oh, let's spell this correctly. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. For the menu, let's create the menu first. We'll have one UL element. Let's close this UL. Inside the UL, we will have our li tags. Let's have three LIs. Home, about, and contact. Perfect. Looks good. Now let's add CSS to this. So I want the UL to have flex property so that it is displayed in one row. Cursor to be pointer. Perfect. And now I want, let's add a class to individual LIs as well. We'll have a ML2 over effect text blue 600, a darker shade, and so that once we hover over it, it shows a darker shade. Looks good. Let's add few more things. Let's add same class to all the elements. Okay. All right, looks good. Let's have a height for this, maybe 24. No, let's make it 20 or maybe 15. 20 looks good to me, or else maybe 18. No, let's keep it to 20 for now. Yeah, so I also wanted same for my footer as well. So let's copy this entire div element which is there in header. Will have the same footer element where we have a logo and the menu. Perfect. Now let's add few spaces so that we know at which block we are designing right now. All right, so we are left with the main block. So design the main block. Let's create the similar structure, something like where we will have a hero section, then we might have something called as category. If you have popular products to show or top categories of your e-commerce website, this can be useful. Then we'll also have something called as popular products. We can also have testimonials. Perfect. Yeah, these are the components what we'll be designing, and of course we can add a carousel or a slider based on any of this section, based on your website design or the requirement. Let's target each of the elements and try to design it. So I'll keep it simple as of now, as it is a beginner's tutorial. If you want more advanced, I'll add a JavaScript or the React code as well, and we'll create a separate video to how to make a carousel or the slider for these sections as well. So let's start designing this for now. We can have px of 2 and mx of 2. Okay, one should be our px. Yeah, I think let's make padding as 4. Yeah, perfect. Now we'll design this hero section in the end. Let's try to design this top category first. For this, let's add enter so that I have a separate block and this looks good in the indentation as well. Firstly, let's add some margin, maybe top and bottom margin first, and then we should have a heading h2 tag. Close this at h2 and add top category to this. Perfect. And we want this heading to be text center and font should be semi bold. Yeah. And also the margin y, so that we have some margin in top and bottom. The second section we can have the actual products. As of now, I'll just create the boxes for that. So let's have a div. Inside that div we'll have boxes. Maybe box 1, div close. Okay. So to add the class, we'll add something. It should be a block element by default, but if it is a small screen, it should be flex. And justify between gap of 2 and margin top and bottom of 2. To this box, let's add some classes. It should be a background color of blue, padding of 20, width should be full, margin bottom should be 4, and if it is a small screen, we should have a margin of 0, mx auto, and text should be center. Yeah, as this is a only one element, it is showing like that, but once we duplicate it and add few more elements, it will show perfectly. Box 2 and box 3. Yeah, this looks good. uh, right now I'm only adding 3 boxes as a category. If you have more, you can of course add more things to these boxes or create one more row with 3 more boxes. Totally depends on your website design. Now let's, in the same way, let's design this popular products as well. So we'll use the same concept. We'll have, copy this, we'll have h2 tag, close the h2, add this popular products, add the same classes what we have added above, which is text center, font semi bold, gap of 2, and margin top and bottom 2. Perfect. Over here also let's add a class which says margin top and bottom 2. We'll have one more section to this, which is div. This will also have similar classes like block. On small screen it should be flex, justify should be between, gap of 2, and margin top and bottom 2. Looks good. Now let's add a div for individual boxes. We can have a class. Let's add box first, which is box 1. Perfect. So this kind of div will have more products, as these are the products and this was a category. So this will often be less and this will be more. So let's design in a way that it can accommodate more products, and then maybe we can think on adding the carousel or the slider for this. To start, we should have a background color first of 100. Padding to should be 10. The x-axis margin should be auto. Margin bottom 4, and to the medium size screen margin bottom should be 0. Text should be center. Perfect. Now we can just replicate this. Maybe, yeah, this looks good to me. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect. This looked good. Till now this everything looks good. Let's come on testimonial and let's see how we can design this last section. For this testimonial, what I'll do, I'll just copy paste the beginning element, maybe this one. It should look similar like this one. Yeah, and I'll just make this as testimonial. Perfect. Yeah, this looks good. Now let's design the hero section. Hero section can have only one image in some cases, or we also have a text and buttons in the left, and in the right we have a image of your products or some sale or some event which is about to come. All of this that depends on your website. For now I'll be dividing this section into two. uh, One should be a call to action button and other will have a popular product image. Right now I'll just create the image and or the box and keep it, but in the real life scenario we'll be adding a beautiful design image. So to design this hero section, let's cut this. Okay, firstly let's add a class to this main div. We should have this as block by default, and for smaller screen it should be flex. Border should be black, gap 2, background should be blue, and maybe 50 as a very light color, and margin top and bottom should be 2. Perfect. Now let's add a div. This div will be our main div, which will have two sections to it. One section will be for left, The other section will be of right. Perfect. This is left and right. Yeah, looks good. Now let's start designing the first left element. For this, let's add few classes like flex of 1, background should be blue, 100, padding of 10, text should be center, mx should be auto, margin bottom should be 4, and in other screens margin bottom should be 0. Perfect. Now to this we'll have two more sections. One is heading. Don't worry about this flickering. As we are typing, it will be gone and it will look good in the end. So we should have a heading, maybe something called as innovative design, some eye-catchy taglines. We should have a font bold, padding of 2, text should be small, and the text should be left aligned. Yeah, okay. The other section should be a paragraph tag, which will have more smaller elements or more detailed tagline. Let's define some class to this. Text should be small and text should be left. Alright, over here let's add some dummy image like this website has few creative designs which are useful for the business. Perfect. Now let's design the right hand side. For this we should have a class which says flex of 1. Perfect. A background color of blue, padding 20, margin bottom should be 4, and for the screens margin bottom should be 0. Oh, I missed this blue. Yeah, this looks good. Perfect. And this can be our image section. This is perfect. We can add a button if required, but this is the basic layout for a website. Looks good to me. So this is how you can practice your learnings and see if it is working out. One more thing what I wanted to add is whenever you add this classes in behind the scene, Tailwind will generate a CSS bundle for you, and this all are the classes what we are using it. And when we create the build, this classes will be bundled up and added to our build. So I hope you found it interesting. If you want a more detailed or advanced video on this, please comment down in the video and I'll create a more detailed video. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.